Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into some incredibly raw, unfiltered insights from finance expert and entrepreneur Pranjal Kamra. We are talking all about the reality of fire goals, the absolute necessity of patience, and those massive illusions created by modern social media finance. Seriously, if you've ever felt like you're earning more than ever but somehow saving less, you're going to want to pay very close attention to this. Let's just dive right into this massive contradiction. We constantly see these viral posts on platforms like LinkedIn, right? The tech engineer pulling in 3 lakh rupees a month, yet claiming to be completely broke by the 30th. How is that mathematically possible? Why are young professionals earning absolute top-tier salaries just struggling to keep their heads above water? Well, the answer lies in a culture that's selling us a very specific and a very expensive dream. And that brings us straight to the core issue. Pranjal completely shatters the heavily marketed FIRE movement. Financial independence, retire early. Looking at his analysis, the way it's pitched online is deeply flawed and honestly pretty impractical for real life. He makes this fascinating point. An empty mind is dangerous. So why this frantic rush to retire in your 30s or 40s anyway?
Section 1. The Flawed FIRE Dream.
See, the trendy idea right now is that you should just grind away, totally hate your job, but save super aggressively just so you can hit some magic number and quit forever. But Pranjal argues that true financial freedom happens naturally, is really a byproduct of spending years doing work you genuinely enjoy, building up your skills and offering value, rather than desperately aiming for an exit number just to escape the workforce. You can't control the outcome, but you absolutely can control the process. Section 2. The myth of passive income. We literally see it everywhere, the promise of getting rich while you sleep. The internet loves to sell the idea that writing a quick book or setting up a systematic withdrawal plan from your mutual funds is just easy passive income. But let's get real for a second. To actually live off investments, you need decades of accumulated wealth, a massive pre-existing corpus. And writing a book, that requires intense active effort, constant marketing, and a huge community to actually sell the thing. It's entirely active work, just disguised as passive. To prove this, Pranjal drops a pretty sobering, almost painful little statistic. A first-time author makes roughly 30 rupees in royalty per non-academic book sold. So if you manage to sell 1,000 copies, which is a huge feat, by the way, you're making just 30,000 rupees for an entire year's worth of work. The whole passive label here, yeah, it's pretty much just marketing fluff. Section 3. Why SIPs need 20 years. Okay, so if passive income is mostly a myth early on, can our trusty SIPs save us and make us rich in 5 years? Well, here is the crucial reality check. 20 years is the absolute minimum time required for compounding to actually overtake your active income. If anyone tells you an SIP is going to make you rich in 5 years, you're being sold a complete lie. Your investments just need time to bake. When we map this out on a timeline, things get super clear. Starting out in your 20s, you've got high expenses, maybe buying a home, paying for a wedding, or plowing money back into a business. You have to rely heavily on your active income for 2 solid decades. You literally just have to have the discipline to save what you can during this active phase before that magical compounding finally does the heavy lifting in your 50s and beyond. Even Pranjal openly admits that his own rapid wealth creation over the last few years was primarily driven by his active business valuation, not just his stock portfolio. His company's active growth drove the vast majority of his net worth, totally dwarfing his passive investments. The investments he made in the last 5 years simply haven't had the time to compound yet. Active income is going to be your primary engine for a very long time. Section 4. The lifestyle inflation track. Which brings us right back to our original dilemma. Where exactly is all that high salary money going? Well, it's being quietly drained by the convenience tax. Take groceries, for instance. Buying your monthly staples from a traditional neighborhood store might run you around 12,000 rupees. But ordering those exact same items daily on quick commerce apps, those baked-in margins push that to 20,000. Or think about cars. 5 years ago, a Wagon R was a perfectly fine baseline car. Today, social pressure basically dictates that a 20-lakh Creta is the new minimum. It's wild. This happens because we've fundamentally changed how we view time. The traditional mindset was all about spreading life experiences, vacations, and luxury purchases across a 25-year period, say from age 25 to 50. But today, completely driven by FOMO, young earners are trying to compress a lifetime of expensive European vacations, weekend pubs, and luxury cars into just their late 20s.
And constant exposure to curated, perfect lives on social media has completely warped our baseline. We spend our days doom scrolling, looking at the top 1% of people in 7 different domains in just 7 minutes. Of course it makes us feel inferior. We've basically taken things that were once rare luxuries and turned them into absolute everyday necessities just to keep up appearances.
To escape this trap, Pranjal suggests a pretty strict detox. Step 1. Ruthlessly cut out the visual triggers by uninstalling the apps that cause all that comparison. If you absolutely have to use them, stick to the web versions where the experience is clunkier and way less addictive. Step 2. Stop comparing yourself to that guy from high school posing with a Tesla in the US. I mean, you have no idea what his credit card debt actually looks like. And step 3. Get back to basic physical financial discipline. Take those 2 hours to go to the local store and save that convenience premium.
Section 5. Redefining true financial freedom. So what does actual grounded financial discipline look like behind the scenes, far away from all the flashy social media advice? It's incredibly pragmatic. Take a massive expense, like a wedding. Pranjal stresses viewing it strictly as a small percentage of your net worth, ideally under 5 to 10%. He firmly believes young adults should absolutely refuse to rely on their parents' life savings to fund a lavish one-day party. Plus, true discipline means keeping business and personal finances strictly separate and even embracing some physical hardships, like not relying solely on air-conditioned environments everywhere you go, just to build resilience for life's inevitable curveballs. Because ultimately, wealth is a slow, steady result of dedicating yourself to an active pursuit you genuinely care about. It's the natural result of excelling in your field over decades, rather than running this frantic, anxiety-inducing race just to escape the workforce by age 35. As we wrap up this explainer, we want to leave you with something to really think about. Take a hard, honest look at your bank statements this month. Is your spending genuinely aligning with your long-term reality and comfort, or are you just paying a massive premium to keep up with a social media mirage? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining us as we explored the real mechanics of wealth, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.